Hello, everybody. Cinephile Mike is here, and it is day 36 of Award Season Reviews, Season 3. 97 reviews coming at you in 97 days, covering many of the films up for recognition this award season. Now, as some of the films I'm talking about may still be in theaters or may be awaiting a re release, all of the statistical information I am providing to you, the box office information, the critical response, all of that information is current within 7 days. I will also be sharing my thoughts on what nominations or, if the films could get, what wins they could get. And as always, these reviews are spoiler free. Also, make sure you check out my website, cinephilemike.com, for the ever informative Where Can I Watch It spreadsheet 2024 edition, where you can track all the nominations for all of the films here and so many more, as well as see how to watch them. So, before I dive in, first thing, let me say Happy New Year's Eve, everyone. I hope you had an incredible 2024 viewing season. I know I did. I'm sure some of you, like me, are trying to cram in one or two more so you can start making your top 10 lists of the year if you haven't already. And today is a Tuesday, so if you are watching this on posting day, we are here with a new theme week. And this week's theme is the Golden Globes. Mostly. Now, I say mostly because while I have covered some of the films that are nominated for the Golden Globes, I have not covered all of them. I will not be able to cover all of them this week because there are so many. But the seven I'm talking about are nominated for at least one or more Golden Globes, and we'll still be doing this theme when the Golden Globes happen in less than a week on Sunday, January 5th. But first up, I'm going to be honest. Today's film is one of my top films of the year, definitely in my top 10, probably in my top 3, but I have a little more viewing to do. But I'm excited to end the calendar year with one of the best films I saw towards the beginning of the year, which is Amazon MGM Studios' Challengers. Written by Justin Koritskis and directed by Luca Guadagnino, the film was released in the spring of this year and quickly made its mark to the point where we are still talking about it. A box office success, the film made $50,119,408 at the domestic box office and an additional $45,900,000 at the international box office. Just coming shy of that $100 million mark, the film closed out at $96,019,408. Though, if the film picks up Oscar steam, it could get a re release and maybe push past. Maybe it just needs that last 4 million. Critically, the film sits with an 88% critical score from 367 reviews and a 74% popcorn meter score from over 1,000 audience ratings. So this film is certified fresh on both sides. Award season wise, well, let's start with the Globes. Challengers is nominated for 4 Golden Globe Awards, Best Original Score and Best Original Song. Both of these award categories for the Oscar winning team of Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, sharing the song nomination with Guadagnino. It is also nominated for Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy for Zendaya and for Best Picture Musical or Comedy. The film has 4 Critics' Choice nods for, again, the score and the song. It is nominated for the editing and original screenplay. It was nominated for Best Picture and Original Screenplay at the Astra Awards, where it also did pick up the award for Best Comedy or Musical. And it was nominated at the Gotham Awards for Best Feature, as well as a win for Zendaya with the Spotlight Award at the Gotham Awards, to say nothing of the other nods and wins the film has picked up at other award ceremonies and film festivals throughout. So, what is this film about? Well, let's say it's one of the more unique love triangles that you've ever seen. Told in a non-linear story, we follow about 13 years, lucky number 13, in the lives of tennis players Tashi Duncan, played by Zendaya, a tennis prodigy, and her fellow tennis pros Art Donaldson, played by Mike Faced, and Patrick Zweig, played by Josh O'Connor. My brief summary will also be slightly non-linear. Meaning when they are all college bound in 2006, partners Art and Patrick meet the pro to be Tashi at the US Open. Both boys immediately crush on Tachi, and she agrees after an entertaining night to give her number to whoever wins the match that they are playing against each other at the Open. Mini spoiler, that game goes to Patrick, and off Tashi goes to Stanford while dating Patrick, who after this Open has gone on Pro Tour, while Art is also attending Stanford. When visiting Stanford in the midst of her game, Patrick has come to watch Tashi play, but Tashi suffers an awful injury. Not really a spoiler, this is in the trailer. But her relationship with Patrick tweaks, and her relationship with Art somewhere in this timeline tweaks. And then we kind of bounce, we're in 12 years later, and we see that Art and Tashi are now married with a child. Art is the one who has gone pro, is hoping for his first Grand Slam title. Tashi has sort of become sidelined as his coach, while Patrick's pro career has taken some interesting turns. And through a series of events, I mean, the name of the film is Challengers. It all comes to a Challenger game event in New Rochelle where these former partners, Art and Patrick, will face off against one another for the first time in years. But there seems to be a little more at stake than just a tennis game. And as we go back and forth from the game to the early beginnings and everything in between, we will see that not everything as it appears, and try to see who in this trio is the puppeteer and who are the puppets. We will see moments of love and passion and frustration and distrust and deep resentment. Although, how much of this is true, or is it just something that's at face value? And I have to say, this is why this is one of my favorite films this year, because without spoiling it entirely, I still think about the film ending and come to a different conclusion each time. I kind of battle and debate with myself. Kritsky's crafts such a unique story in his screenplay that really truly is original and earning of that title. He cleverly creates three fully well rounded, interesting characters, and from the moment these three meet, you see, I mean, pardon the tennis pun, but game, set, but where will the match go? And this also is a credit to some very strong directing from Guadagnino, who makes sure we catch every glance when it counts and really keeps you wondering in this massive game, both on and off the courts, who is in control. The acting is superb. Zendaya continues to prove that she's an absolute star, commanding the screen in every scene she is in, and she's equally matched in level by Feist and O'Connor. The three of them are a fascinating trio, and some of the best performances, I have to say, is when there's no dialogue at all. I mean, this is a testament again to Guadagnino and his team. I mean, each of these three has a chance to show they're in control of the action that's occurring, but as fast as that ball is served over the net in one of the many excellent tennis games we see, it changes. As he's done in his previous films, Guadagnino really is able to show these interesting, intense sexual dynamics between his characters, like he did in Call Me by Your Name, Bones and All, even to a little aspect Suspiria and another film which I'll be talking about later this week, the Golden Globe nominated Queer. From a technical perspective, there's some incredible work done behind the scenes. Sayambyu Mukdeepram's cinematography is well captured, especially when he shoots the tennis games. There's some fascinating shots where we as the audience are in a different perspective and angle from where we're watching some of the games, and it's underscored beautifully by Resner and Ross's score. These synthesized almost 80s style techno music is really the perfect companion to this work, and it's all brought together by sharp editing by Marco Costa. So, does this film have any Oscar chances? Well, the film has already made the short list for Best Score, which is, and again, the score is incredible, and could possibly bring Resner and Ross their third statues for this film. Also, their song Compress, Repress, which they also wrote with Guadagnino, has also made the short list. So it has those two. Koritsky's, while we don't know the shortlist for this, in my opinion, based on this script, he should be a shoe-in at least for a nod for Best Original Screenplay. While she may not pop up, Zendaya does give a solid performance here. I don't know if it's enough to creep into the Best Actress race. I know there was discussion of her earlier this season, but there have been some up-and-comers in the last few months. And also, I don't quite know if there's enough in here for Best Picture. Again, earlier this season, yes, but I don't know if it's been able to maintain that steam. Also, on a purely personal note, while I don't think he will be, Mukdeepram is really deserving of a cinematography nod. I remember walking out of this film and I could not talk about how it was shot. So, We are starting Golden Globes week off strong. No shock that this is a 5-star review for challengers. This is a film that I will say that may require more than one viewing, and in my opinion, that investment is worth it. So, if you haven't seen Challengers yet, or you want to do that rewatch to see what it is that I'm talking about, the film is currently streaming on Amazon Prime. So, there we go. That is where we are going to end. We are diving right into our next theme week. It is going to be incredible. As always, if you like what you heard here, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, join the conversation. You can follow me, Cinephile Mike, on all social media platforms, then on Letterboxd. So much more great award season films coming at you. So you don't want to miss any of the conversation. Again, find lots of great additional information at my website, cinephilemike.com. All right, everyone. Happy New Year's Eve again. See you next year. And until then, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.